My name is Zizaran. This is going to be a Blade Vortex guide, and it's a Trickster. You can also use it with Ethereal Knives if you want to. So I've made it like pretty easy to see how you're putting the points while leveling here. You can go like 13, 31, and you can see here. The bandit you take is a Lyra. Gives you some resist, and later on you're going to be crit as well. Remember that, like, for early leveling, you're gonna have Elemental Overload. Make sure you spec out of that once you start taking, like, in-crit strikes and going crit. You get a lot of nice jewels. Pretty decent tree. AoE nodes. Obviously, if you're going EK, then you don't take the AoE nodes. You would, like, take here. Get rid of the AoE nodes here. And you would take Sniper instead. So Ascendancy wise, you're going to be taking Harness of the Void first, which is really, really powerful. Then next up, you want to take Swift Killer in Crow Lab for the Frenzy Charge generation, stuff like that. You could technically later get rid of that if you want to. But I feel like the new Herald of Ash is so strong that you really do want to have it just for the free generation. There are some other options too, like Shaper Rings with Curse on Hit. Right, so for new players, I want to recommend getting Weave the Arcane. You take that as the last one. Like in Merc Lab, you take Patient Reaper. I'll explain that in a little bit. But for your Uber Lab skill, you can either do Weave the Arcane or Ghost Dance. Weave the Arcane is what I'd prefer recommending to new players because you're going to be having, like, you get the bonus just by using Shield Charge. Just by using Shield Charge. So for this, if you want to use Ghost Dance, that involves spamming Val Discipline. So how that works is you get a lot of the bonuses just by having Energy Shield or by being full Energy Shield, which you mostly full Energy Shield from this anyway. But every time you recharge Starch, which Val Dis does, you get the 40% attack and cast speed bonus, but that's just for 4 seconds. You get the 20% here up all the time. So it's a lot easier if you don't want to like maintain a lot of things. If you are going for Ghost Dance, you can drop Patient Reaper as well and go for Escape Artist. And that's even nicer endgame, especially if you're doing boss killing. You can do like a really high evasion ES chest or like Queen of the Forest, and you'll get a lot of free energy shield for that. So you could probably get like 4 or 5k ES, and then you'd probably take a few ES nodes. But so for new players, I'll recommend Weave the Arcane and Patient Reaper. So Patient Reaper is Merc Lab and Weave the Arcane is Uber Lab. Now, it's a really cheap build. I haven't included any expensive items. I have an early and an endgame set. In the early set, you can see that I'm using cheap items such as Princess, or you can just slap on any like Scepter or Dagger with spell damage, flat added to spells. Please don't use Divinarius. If you find it, sell it. It's not good because you can craft a better one with essences so easy now. But yeah, Princess, very, very easy. You can see here that it adds a decent amount of damage, like 50k just for the Princess. Endgame, you want to get something like that with physical damage added as extra fire, lightning, random. Really, really nice. The other gear is just like this you can get by using a random Scorn, and you could like do Crafted Life. Sarconius is very easy. Just random life, like very, very cheap, easy gear. I try to make all the builds like very realistic, easy to get stuff. Hardest thing in this is probably the Aziri's Promise. Easier on softcore early on than hardcore. So this is DPS with 20 blades against bosses. Oh, actually, that's against Shaper. Usually this is like set up for standard bosses normally, because you're not going to be at Shaper at this point. But 20 blades, pretty easy to get. This is with Spell Echo too. You can get even more damage by doing added fire instead of Spell Echo, and you should still be able to get 20 blades because you have both the duration clusters. You could end up dropping this entire part later on if you want to. Pantheons, you can do Solaris is pretty nice, and then I prefer Shakira. It is the Scorpion that gives you like poison reduction and damage over time reduction is nice. I've put a lot of the different skill gems here, like what you're leveling up with, so you can see that you don't have any of the crit stuff for leveling up here. And level 1 to 12 you do the just Freezing Pulse or Frostbolt, whatever floats your boat, and Onslaught and added lightning. And then I put some of the other gems in here, like you use a Wither Totem. And for bosses, you can use Decoy if you feel like that's safer. Like if you're struggling with survival, just slap on a Decoy Totem. And you want to use Decoy for leveling as well. It's completely overpowered at League starts. You curse with the Orb of Storm's Elemental Weakness. I tried Despair too, but it's not really worth it. Elemental Weakness worked out so much better. I've put some notes in as well, like what jewels are better and how you can change it. But yeah, should be a pretty strong Trickster build for League starts. So hopefully this helps you. All the details should be in the build. And again, remember you can see how to level up down here. My name is Zizaran. You can ask any questions if you have them on twitch.tv/Zizaran. Try to die less than I do. Zizaran.